Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. So I got this article from yesterday, and the judge is going to consider whether to remove District Attorney Fani Willis from the Georgia 2020 election case today. Or at least the hearing is going on currently right now. I don't know if he'll actually make his decision today. But let's check this article out. A Georgia judge who is deciding whether to toss Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis off the state's election interference case against former President Donald Trump has set a hearing for Thursday that is expected to focus on details of Willis's personal relationship with a special prosecutor she hired. Fani Willis is prosecuting Trump's RICO case in Georgia. As soon as the allegations of an inappropriate romantic relationship between Willis and attorney Nathan Wade surfaced last month, speculation about the future of the case began to swirl. Even if the prosecution isn't derailed, the upheaval has certainly created an unwanted distraction for Willis and her team and can undermine the public confidence in the case. And it certainly should. In my opinion, it already has. The defense attorney who first exposed the relationship said it creates a conflict of interest and is asking the judge to dismiss the indictment and to prohibit Willis, Wade, and their offices from further involvement in the case. In a response filed earlier this month, Willis acknowledged a personal relationship but said it has no bearing on the serious criminal charges she's pursuing and asked the judge to dismiss the motion seeking her disqualification without a hearing. I mean, wouldn't you, right? Thankfully, the judge declined it. The law says disqualification can occur if evidence is produced demonstrating an actual conflict of interest or appearance of one, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee said during a hearing Monday, because he believes it's possible that the facts alleged by the defendant could result in a disqualification. I think an evidentiary hearing must occur to establish the record on those core allegations. The highly anticipated hearing, like all courtroom proceedings in the case, will be streamed live to the judge's YouTube channel as well as by news outlets. McAfee said it could continue into Friday, so he might not make his decision today. He might make it tomorrow, or I would assume he'd make it at the end of the case tomorrow. But as he makes another run for the White House and faces 3 other criminal prosecutions, the former president has exploited the revelation of the relationship, repeatedly referring to Wade as Willis's lover or boyfriend to try to cast doubt on Willis's motivations and the legitimacy of the case. Other Republicans have piled on, using the claims to justify calls for investigations into or sanctions against Willis, an elected Democrat who's up for re-election this year. The original motion was filed by former Trump campaign staffer and one-time White House aide Michael Roman, but Trump and several other co-defendants have joined with motions of their own. Roman's motion says Willis and Wade were romantically involved when she hired him in November 2021 to manage the investigation into whether Trump and others committed any crimes as they tried to overturn his 2020 election loss in Georgia. That evidence led to an indictment in August of Trump and 18 others who are accused of participating in a sprawling illegal scheme to keep Trump in office. 4 of the others charged have already pleaded guilty after reaching deals with prosecutors. Trump and the remaining 14 have all pled not guilty. Willis has paid Wade more than $650,000 for his work, and then Roman alleges profited personally when Wade used that money to take her on expensive vacations, including cruises in the Bahamas and trips to Aruba, Belize, and Napa Valley. His filing also questions Wade's qualifications for the job, saying there's no evidence he had ever prosecuted a felony or handled a racketeering case. And I believe that's actually true, but, I'll add allegedly. And before I wrap up, I'm going to take you over here to The Guardian. Fani Willis's friend tells misconduct hearing DA's affair with Wade began before he was hired in Trump Georgia case. Now, this trial is actually going on live right now. They are currently in recess, and Nathan Wade has been on the stand, and I believe he will be coming back to the stand after the recess adjourns. It's the lunch hour. They're probably just eating lunch. But this is just from an hour ago. A friend of Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis testified just earlier in the Georgia hearing in the criminal election interference case against Donald Trump and co-defendants. Robin Yeardy, sorry if I got your name wrong, testified that Willis's personal relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade began before he was hired in the election interference case against Trump, the Associated Press reports. Yeardy's testimony directly contradicts Willis's statement that her personal relationship with Wade didn't begin until after Wade was hired as special prosecutor in the case against Trump. Willis hired outside lawyer Wade to help investigate whether Trump and his allies committed any crimes while trying to overturn his 2020 election loss in the state. Sorry, I have both of the girls in the room today, so they're making sounds, my dogs. An additional delay would likely lessen the chance that a trial would be held before the November election. He is currently the front runner to win the Republican nomination for president, and I believe he's actually the front runner to win the presidential election, according to a lot of polls. Wade is wearing a pale gray suit and looks uncomfortable, but is pushing back about whether he did or did not rent a cabin in Tennessee for a stay with Willis, how trips were paid for, who paid who back, and how, that kind of thing. And what this is referring to, I actually watched that part. Ashley Merchant, the attorney, is asking Nathan Wade if he recalled booking a cabin in Tennessee only 6 months ago. And he actually said he didn't. Renting cabins, going on trips, taking vacations all the time, talking about cruises, this and that, with his family, with his mom, with his sisters, all this stuff. It's like, dang, man, most of these people in the world struggle to take one vacation. I get it, he's an attorney, whatever, but acting like he takes so many trips and so many cabins to the woods that he just can't recall because it's all lost in the shuffle is pretty damning in my opinion. I thought the prosecuting attorney, Ashley Merchant, missed. I think she's the prosecuting attorney in this. I don't know what her title actually is in this type of setting, but I'm going to call her the prosecuting attorney. She asked him, do you recall booking this 6 months ago, this cabin 6 months ago? And he said, I booked lots of cabins. She should have just made him respond to her assumption that he just said yes. I mean, he did, essentially. So, I don't know. I thought she should have done that, but I'm not an attorney by any means, so don't take my legal advice. And then a little bit about what's going on at the actual courthouse. It's quite the scene at the Fulton County Court in Atlanta, Georgia, for the hearing in the election interference case against Donald Trump and a dozen other co-defendants. The courthouse isn't quite on lockdown. Let's go down here. Sorry if I'm jumping around. I'm just going through this article here. It's given kind of up-to-date updates, and I just want to share that with you. Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor in the criminal case against Donald Trump in Georgia, is himself on the stand in a misconduct hearing in that case against him and District Attorney Fani Willis, who is leading the case. The two are accused by one of Trump's co-defendants on a conflict of interest that should warrant them being thrown off the case based on their romantic relationship, which they have admitted. I agree. The district attorney's office has vehemently rejected the claim that the romantic relationship gave rise to a conflict, arguing in court filings that there was no impropriety under the law and there is no financial benefit to either Willis or Wade, as has been alleged. Well, in my mind, you got to prove it. You know, you're being accused because it looks really bad, and you owe it to the people to prove that you're not wasting their money to put it in your pocket or your lover's pocket. There's been a lot of discussion on the crucial question of when the romantic relationship began, how he was hired into the case as her number two, and whether they inappropriately benefited from the public funds spent in the case. Yeah, I 100% agree. Having heard a witness say the relationship began in 2019, well before Trump was prosecuted, Wade is contradicting that. Wade and Willis claim they got together only after they started working on the case together in March 2022, according to Wade. You know, it's funny how he remembers certain dates in 2022, but he can't remember other dates. It's, isn't that convenient? But hey, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I'm going to keep my eye on this case for the rest of the day, and when something new comes, we get a decision from the judge, I will certainly let you guys know. So hit that subscribe button, like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.